Welcome to Uncloaked Illusions. I'm Chris Anthony, and I am coming with breaking news and also disturbing news. And this is concerning the Syria missile strike within hours, Eastern Mediterranean on alert for a possible launch. Now, I'll read a bit of this and then I'll give my perspective on it. A coalition force could fire air-to-ground or cruise missiles in the wake of a horrifying chemical attack on innocent civilians in Syria last week. Aviation experts AirLive have reported this evening a rapid alert notification warning aircraft in the eastern Mediterranean to be wary of a sudden missile strike. AirLive said the alert was issued by Eurocontrol this evening for a possible launch within the next 72 hours. Now, let's recall, Trump announced that he was going to be pulling out the U.S. Servicemen from Syria, eastern Syria, I believe. I can't recall the actual area that the strike actually took place in. I digress. However, and I must say this, I must remind the viewers that we are there illegally. We have invaded this country because we did not get the invitation from this sovereign government in Syria. So back to what I was saying. The moment he announces that we're about to pull out of Syria, we're getting our soldiers out of this country because Al-Qaeda is pretty much finished and there's no need to continue to be there. Suddenly, we have this chemical attack or this chemical attack on the civilians in Syria. And mind you, without getting any investigation that can prove that Assad's government had carried this out or they had nothing to do with it, we are now moving towards setting up strategic strikings in this country without any else. So what do you think this is leading to? Because Russia announced not long ago that what happened last year, they're not going to allow it to happen again. They're not going to allow the U.S. to strike Syria like it did last year when Trump just basically went AWOL and decided to, without congressional approval, to launch 50 Tomahawk missiles into Syria. Well, the Russians are not going to have it this time, and this is heating up really quickly because even China has sent its naval base out there in the Black Sea, I believe in the Mediterranean, to join Russia, to help Russia if necessary. So we have a lot of things ramping up, and at the end of the day, this is all about Iran. This is something that Trump has been touting for a very long time, that this country needs to come to healing in a sense, which means, simplistically put, they wanted to control the resources of this country. They wanted to remove the government that is currently there and replace it with a government that's going to be more control in dealing with the United States. And this is getting very dangerous. And if he does this, you might as well say the commencing of World War III has pretty much taken place. And now, I'm not going to really do much on it because I really want to wait to see what happens before I report on it further or before I give any of my opinions about what's going on. But I will pose this question. Do you think that Trump was as one would label him, to be the Trojan horse? That this is all by design and that none of this is by mistake. I am starting to realize that I fell off of that logic that there is no such thing as an election or a fair election in the United States, that it is simply a selection, and that this person was picked and not picked by the people. And I think we're starting to see that more and more as the days proceed, what the agenda really is and what the motives are. It's about to get dangerous. It is about to get dangerous. Needless to say, share this video. I'll have the article in the description area because I get a little confused with that sometimes. And you guys look into this. You guys need to pay more attention to this because, again, geopolitical issues or events have a lot to do with what goes on in our country as well, because this won't be an isolated situation at this point. This could come to the shores of America as well, because they do have the technology. And this is also a difference because we were able to topple these isolated small countries with their already broken governments. And we're talking about a superpower now. We're talking about Russia. We're talking about Iran. We're talking about China. Also coupled with North Korea, and all the other countries, the BRICS nations that are aligned with these particular superpowers. So we're not talking about some isolated country that we can just go and invade, topple their government, take hold of their resources, and control that particular region. We're not talking about that anymore. This is dangerous. This is getting out of hand. And I am starting to realize that, again, there is no such thing as a fair election in the United States. Our democracy was not, if not ever, a democracy. And I'm coming to realize that it's a selection. These people are picked. And there's no such thing as American people, American voters having anything to do with the outcome of election. All of this was a farce to confuse you and have us fighting with each other. Again, share this video. Please share it. We need to get this information out there, and I will be coming back with more information as it unfolds. Like the video. Let's get the likes up. Subscribe. And I'm Chris Anthony, and I'm out.